You go ahead and let it roll. Psalm 83 and 1. You look at something. I'm for real though, man. I'm just being honest with y'all now, so y'all can go ahead and know that. Don't shoot me no lies now. You shoot me a lie, your credibility is gone. You know what I'm saying? It's gone. Now, I ain't gonna say you could never get it back, but it's gone till otherwise. Psalm 83 and 1. Keep not thou silence, O God, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God. For lo, thy enemies make atonement, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. Now, most of y'all know about Hebrew Israelite, right? This their favorite song. This their favorite song. But we're not going to go read about all the nations that were mentioned. You know what I'm talking about? Because we know that all the nations are, we might as well. He said, for they have consulted together with one consent, they are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites of Moab, and Hagarenes, Gebal, and Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre. Asher is also joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot, Selah. Now, we're not going to go into what people is who and what. The truth be told, it don't really matter. If we were to tell you, it ain't going to got nothing to do with saving your soul. But you notice the key thing of what they said? They say, man, let's cut Israel off, that they won't be a nation no more. So the book is already telling you about a conspiracy. A conspiracy of a group of people seeking to eliminate a people to stop making them a nation. But when we sit back and when you look at Israel, we know this the Lord right here. Because he said, let's cut Israel off that his name may be no more in remembrance. So now let's go and look at Exodus chapter 2 or chapter 1, and let's see the framework before we get to Matthew. Because you know, if we can actually, as we were talking about with COINTELPRO, if we can stop the rise of a black Messiah, if we can do something to murder the youth, then the one who would be delivered could be cut off in that. And that's what this psalm is actually telling us about. The objective is, if we can stop the son from being born, that means that what we looked at not too long ago in Jeremiah 33, about they will no longer be a nation before me, and I won't have a man to sit on that throne, we can stop it. Matter of fact, before we even look at that, Galatians, go to Galatians 4 and 1, before we even look at that. Galatians 4 and 1, just see what I'm talking about. How else would they stop the name of Israel from being in remembrance? I got to stop the Son of God. If we kill the Son of God, he don't never come through. That means the promises that Abraham has to stop. We just looked at this not too long ago, that Isaac was the seed of the promise to bring forth the everlasting covenant. If we can stop him that can renew the covenant, then we can stop you. But then it's a key thing. Any of y'all ever heard? I know most of y'all should have heard of it. How many of y'all familiar with Redemption Song?
With what?
Redemption Song by Bob Marley. How many of y'all? And you remember one thing that he said in that song? He said, how long will they kill our prophets while we stand aside and look? Now, we're not talking about these niggas who getting killed as prophets. But at the same time, if they set up situations and circumstances that could construct a man's thought process, it could have been to the intent if he wouldn't have caused the Lord to say, you know what, I'm going to kill this nigga. He could have been one. You know what I'm talking about? It ain't nothing but situation and circumstance. Remember how we did read that last night in Ecclesiastes? One event happened to one man, another event happened to another. It ain't but situation and circumstances that we sitting right here. You know what I'm talking about? Because they ain't killing no prophets out here in these streets. Not yet anyway. I just seen today, they tried to say that the dude, the Israelite that got killed in St. Louis, they killed him because he said he was finna start a revolution. He was calling for revolution. No, they shot you because you was a dumb nigga, ran out your mama house with a knife and a Bible. You know what I'm saying? And these people got this stuff on tape. And they were calling the boy by name so they knew who he was. You know what I'm saying? And they shot him in the leg with a rubber bullet before they actually put the hot lead in him. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not condoning what the police be doing by any stretch of the imagination. But we sometimes forget that these people are not trained to disarm you. They're trained to kill you. You know what I'm saying? Y'all need to get that through your mind. That's by no means, because we know a lot of them be shooting niggas down. Like what y'all seen in South Carolina, come on, that's obvious. What you seen them do to that Eric Garner dude, that's obvious. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of other stuff you've seen, but you niggas act like these people just started killing you. They've been killing you. See, some of y'all wasn't even born or just was born when we were sitting there watching them beat the brakes off Rodney King, and these men got off on that. And he was on tape. They beat the mud out this man. You know what I'm talking about? Beat the brakes off of him, cars on the ground like this here. Shirt all ripped up, they steady going. That's what caused them boys to riot in LA. Same reason why they rioted in Watts in 1966. Because the police was beating on them and killing them. Y'all forget these people sprayed you with water hoses and sick Rottweilers on you because you wanted to sit at the same lunch table as them. See, y'all don't remember that type of stuff. See, they want you to forget it. They always tell you what? Never forget 9/11. I forget it real easy. It ain't got nothing to do with me.
Straight up.
That's white on white crime.
Straight up.
Because I know ain't no Arabs did it. That's white on white crime. Yeah. Yes, some black folks got killed in it, but I'm just be dead honest with you. That's white on white crime. That ain't got nothing to do with me. I ain't feel bad about it. I ain't lose no sleep. When I used to be in traffic and see them white folks look up at them airplanes, right after they let the plane fly, I could see the terror in their eyes. I used to be in the Cutlass dying laughing. I'm talking about, and I wanted them to see me laughing too. Fat Blunt, dying laughing. Playing Ghetto Boy, Point of No Return, and make sure I play Willie D verse extra loud. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't know nothing about that there. I ain't gonna tell you to go look for that song because ain't no clean version of it. All I know is Willie D say, call me a patriot, nigga, and I'm a bust joke. That's how I feel. I had a Captain America t-shirt, man, one of them Echo shirts they had with the cartoon comic book character. They walked up to me. I had just bought it right before 9/11 happened. I wore it. Somebody walked up to me. I said, please don't get the wrong idea. I'm not a patriot. I didn't wear that shirt too much after that. I just rolled with the Incredible Hulk when in the Punisher. Because that's why I don't like nothing with the American flag on it now. The New York Yankees had it probably one of the hardest fitted caps it is. I don't know why it is, because it ain't nothing. It's real plain. It's some other ones got better colors than it. But you know what I'm saying? But it's a classic hat. It's just no, man, I ain't wearing no Yankees hat. I ain't no Yankee. I like Tom Brady. I ain't buying no Patriots jersey though. I ain't no Patriot. If I sit back and represent that, I ain't watching that. Man, what I want anything to do with that for? Anything, you know what America should be synonymous with? What y'all think America should be synonymous with? What's the first word come to you brothers' mind? Murder. You know what really come to my mind? Savagery. Savagery. Straight savages. Beasts of a level that never seen at any time in history, in my personal opinion. That's just my personal opinion. I have not read anywhere in history where a nation treated a specific group of people as these people have treated us in the time that we have been in this hellhole. I ain't seen it in this God-forsaken place. Claiming that this country is built on the principles of our God, but it's straight. If savagery don't come to mind, hypocrisy come right behind it. You know what I'm saying? These people have been plotting to kill us from the time that we landed on Jamestown, Virginia in 1555. These people have been out for us ever since. Ever since. If you stay, but we know that, but I'm talking about us actually stepping on their shores. You know what I'm saying? Us actually stepping on their shores. The conspiracy to knock you off and to kill you was set forth from that day forward. It really started when you were on the boats and they was tossing you over the side. No nigga love to scream about Willie Lynch, man. That's all well and good. You know what I'm saying? But these people been killing us for a long time. Africa don't count. You know what I'm saying? That don't count. It counts when these people have taken you in a land and that don't belong to you. And they brought you here and enslaved you and conspired to kill you. You know what I'm saying? All because they never wanted you to connect with your God. It's punishment for what we did in disobedience, but at the same time, these people went too far. We can see, me and him done seen, it's documented history where the Portuguese knew. They said, boy, them people destined to be slaves. They God said it. So don't think these people didn't know. They know. And they chose to take it to a whole nother level. There is no rhyme and reason why you would hang people from a tree and cut that man's testicles off in front of his people.
Or cut a baby out.
And eat while you doing it.
And eat while you're doing it. You know what I'm saying? You know what type of heart you got to have to do something like that? And you know what used to trip me out when I was young? Hear them white folks say, well, I didn't have nothing to do with it, but you living off the benefits of it, though. You living off the benefits of it. If that's the case, renounce everything you got and say, let's redistribute it to everybody evenly and start all over again. You're not going to do that. You're not going to do that. A white man couldn't dare tell me y'all need to forget that. Well, forget all the money and business opportunities you had and shoot it all away. Y'all done heard me say plenty of time. And he done heard me say it when we were young. All I used to be like this here, man, we can run any Fortune 500 business we want, man. We do anything we want. All these crackers got to do is just get out my way. That's all they got to do. Just get out my way. We didn't really just have the mind frame up. We just got to move them out the way. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have that mind frame then. We just got to move these crackers out the way. Because that's how the mind frame we took of selling drugs. If we just would have took it legal, we wouldn't even been in a lot of situations and circumstances that we was in because we just didn't think of, just move these crackers out the way. Screw getting them out the way. Let's move them out the way. But it wasn't meant to be the end, but Lord will it go down now. We're just going to get you out the way. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to sit back and look at what a white man, because a brother called me with that the other day. Well, you know the system, I don't care what the system is. The system can't start nothing when you serve the living God. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's the only difference. We wasn't serving the living God then. I don't care nothing about her. I say, bro, I'm finna take on a wife. I don't see none of that. I got stuff right in my mind exactly what I'm going to do, how it's going to execute. So when the opportunity presents itself, I won't be scrambling on what I already went through this in my mind. It's just smooth. So when somebody see it, they be like, he doing it so effortlessly. No, I just was planning on it. So when opportunity came, I was already prepared with what I was going to do. I had contingency plans, everything, because it's already mapped out in my brain. And now we taking the steps to get it there. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it take a little longer than you desire. Sometimes it come faster than you thought. But either way it go, we just ready. Because I don't see you, buddy. If you going to do this, then I'm going to do that. If you going to do this, then I'm going to do that. But one thing I ain't never going to stop doing, that's serving my God. Because, boy, you can't stop him. Before we read this Galatians 4:1, then go to Exodus chapter 1. The one thing that, boy, I remember Buju told that about Shabba Ranks now. They were messing with, Shabba Ranks said this here, they were messing with, it was Buju who said, they were messing with Buju because he made that boom bye-bye talking about them sisters. And they was all mad at him. And he looked in that camera and said, man, we got a power you can't take away. That's what y'all be forgetting when y'all get caught up and worrying about stuff that happened with your life and stuff. See, if you actually serve God and you believe God, the man told you, give me Deuteronomy chapter 7. The man told you exactly what time it was. Now, it ain't even about the fear. It's about you got to remember what the man said. We come back to Galatians chapter 4. You just got to remember what the man said. Deuteronomy 7 and 9. That's all we want. Just Deuteronomy 7 and 9. Calm down, Elizabeth. He says, know therefore that Yah, thy God, he is God, the faithful God, which keep covenant and mercy with them that love him and keep his commandments to 1,000 generations. Come on back to Galatians chapter 4. That's what you got to remember, man. If you know that you are keeping his covenant and keeping his commandment, the man just told you, I'm a faithful God. I'm going to do what I said I was going to do. Yeah, he don't play no games. But what people end up forgetting about is you not faithful. So guess what happens? You don't expect him to be. That's why some of y'all ever been in relationships and you go date somebody and you were with somebody who were unfaithful, then you think the next person can't be faithful because that person was. That's how we look at the Lord. Because I'm not faithful to the Lord, you expect him not to be faithful to you, which is correct. Why would he be? You know what I'm saying? Because you not being faithful. But if you faithful, he will be faithful because he's a man of his word. Galatians 4:1. He say, now I say that the heir, as long as he is a child, differ nothing from his servant, though he be Lord of all, but is under tutors and governors until the time appointed. Even so we, when we were children, were in the bondage under the elements of the world. But when the fullness of time was come, God sent forth his son, made of a woman, made under the law, to redeem them that were under the law, that we might receive the adoption of son. So he said back, look at that, I've sent my son as a flesh and blood. He had to come through a woman. So that's where this conspiracy gonna come to cut him off. Let's see where it started at in Exodus, because you know we done looked at this before. That Moses had that Yahshua had to come just like how it was with Moses. Had to be the same, man. What you so happy about, Lizzie? 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 I don't think that smile stopped. What we at here now? Exodus 1 and about verse 13. Make it 11. Well, 10 even better. Well, let's look at about 8. Even 7. You know what black people known for doing? What we got a reputation for doing. What's one of the things black people got a reputation for doing?
Having crab boil.
Huh? What'd you say?
Having crab boil.
Huh? Having crab boil. But one thing a reputation for black men and women that's negative in this country is that you some freaks.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? That you get, he said, Joel said, that go without saying. He said, because boy, one thing they know about black people, them niggas like to hunch.
Yeah.
And then when you sit back and look at it, how many black people you see go to fertility clinics versus other races? Black people ain't got no need to.
Maybe to donate.
And that's only because some niggas want to go around there because they like to touch themselves. Niggas say, I'm going to get paid for masturbating? Shoot, I'm on it. I'm telling you, man.
So wrong people have sex on crack and cocaine because it really kills your nature.
Yeah, it's supposed to. Ain't that something?
Like
And you know the crazy part is?
Wow.
I have seen it with my own 2 eyes because remember we had life management class where I read about what every drug would do to your body. And it says that cocaine is supposed to destroy your desire to have sex. Even marijuana is supposed to do it to a certain extent. And niggas abuse both of these substances like now they going north. I done seen niggas get on coke and base and want to freak everything in sight. You know what I'm talking about? Everything in sight. I done seen dude get on that crack like this here, boy, you ain't got no holes around here. I'm like, boy, you ain't. I'm talking about, come on, man. I used to be trapping on the beach, man. Them niggas used to come, man. It was a trick we had in there, man. Them niggas come through 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. Talking about that's your old lady. Come on, my nigga. It's 3 o'clock in the morning, bro. You and I know why you're here. So please go back there and do what you got to do so she can turn back around and spend that with me, please. You know what I'm saying? All that trying to talk about is that my old lady. Negro, please. You know what I'm saying? But hey, a lot of niggas like that basil monkey. I'm telling you though, I'm talking about it. One thing niggas trick with one. Some of them niggas make them their old ladies. Niggas like basil vagina. I don't know why, but they like. I'm telling you, I had one time when I went to catch a serve my homeboy. That nigga was in the bed with the basil like this here. They laid up in the bed, butt booking naked. And King's Inn at that.
Oh.
I'm just letting any of y'all know from out of town, boy. You see something say King's Inn, don't you stay there. Don't you stay there. Don't you even look at it. Don't even read a review.
Oh, Scottish Inn.
Scottish Inn, Regency Inn.
Don't
Don't even fool with it. Matter of fact, anything
on
Phillips Highway, if it ain't nowhere near Bay Meadows Road, don't even fool with it. If it say Emerson and hey, I'm just letting me know. He said, well,
no, Larry, you said Emerson. Oh, no.
JTB and down.
No, man, pretty much. I'm talking about anything, man. You want to go JTB, Bay Meadows somewhere. You don't want to go or the beach or something. Yeah, you want to go to Bay Meadows somewhere, JTB somewhere. Don't get no hotel room on Arlington Expressway.
Oh,
don't you get no hotel room on Emerson. You know what I'm talking about? Don't you get no hotel room on Emerson and Phillips. I'm talking about if it say Phillips Highway, you better be looking for Bay Meadow Road and back.
South.
You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about, oh yeah, don't get no hotel on University Boulevard West. Don't go to the Ramada. Don't go to none of that. Don't go nowhere near that. Cause when you get out there, you're gonna be like, if they smoking crack in the hallway, yes they are. What's that hotel you used to be at over there on the north side?
Which one?
The one over there by the Amaco.
You did. By the Amaco. He'll be in
Yeah, over there, what is it? I forget the name of the road. It escapes me.
I end up in my car. Golf out.
That's what I'm talking about.
I knew
Oh,
that
man.
was Metro. It's Metro now. It's Sylvester.
Yeah, it's a Vista.
That was
Now it's called
crack
Metro.
house right there.
Yeah, like it's here. Now it's called Metro Inn. Don't you go over there. Matter of fact, if you see any hotel on the north side, don't even get them. Just go to the one out there by the airport.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You gotta be careful out there which one.
Yeah, I know it. You know what I'm saying? But you'll be all right if you did it, because when you go anything talking about, oh, this on Dunn Avenue. No, you gonna see some stuff you ain't want to see.
If the room ain't $80 a night, you might.
Yeah, that's what you do. Yeah.
He said, bro, let's say if it ain't $80 a night, you gonna be just be easy. Might want to bring a weapon with you.
80 better. Your room better be 80 better.
Like this here, might want to bring a weapon in the guard dog.
At the airport, they don't even let you rent a room unless you got out of town ID. Certain
Woo-woo.
hotels.
I don't blame it, because they know what you're coming out there to do.
Yeah, the Hilton Guard won't do it no more.
They say a lot of hotels out there, the airport say you ain't out of town ID, can't even rent no room here, buddy. You coming out here to sell crack. I told you, boy, this city of food. You be like, what you mean? That look like a nice hotel. Sure it do.
Sure do.
This one short though.
Sure it do. Sure it do.
So you really gotta be careful on JTV too.
Yeah, some of them, shoot, we told them that when we was out there. Boy, it's dope being sold out here now. And you'll be sitting out there looking at, really? Really?
I'm sorry, since y'all, did you see what they did to Brentwood Lake Apartments?
No, I didn't.
They look brand new, bro.
Yeah.
Brentwood Lake.
You know Brentwood. That's all I know. That's the only thing you could be talking about.
You know,
On the
time
north
out.
side?
Yeah, right there on Gulfport, like.
Oh yeah.
They been to
yeah,
work,
yeah,
but
they
they look.
been
They
like
like
that for-
I want to go stay over there now.
No, you don't.
I mean, I don't want to go stay over there because I know. I'm just saying, I was out there.
Where you
You
drive?
know what I'm saying? I was looking and I'm like,
They look nice.
They did the road,
Yeah,
they
they do look
repainted
nice.
everything.
They look
From a
nice.
distance.
Yeah, the apartments out
You
there.
must have been over there. You know.
Yeah, he couldn't have. Because once you go out there, you realize everybody out there is a foot dragger.
Yeah,
Tell everybody looks. You gotta, you know what I'm saying?
You got to get you
just
go out.
saying.
You go out there and you be like this here. What in God's name?
Yeah.
You take your U-Haul truck and be like this here. I need my deposit. Like,
They done redid the playground set. Like,
These
come out
things.
of town, it's gonna catch you.
all right, Exodus 1:6. It says, and Joseph died and all his brethren and all that generation. And the children of Israel were fruitful and increased abundantly and multiplied and waxed exceeding mighty, and the land was filled with them. See, this is where the conspiracy ends up starting at. It's the same thing that it happened when we got here. Because they noticed no matter what they did, we kept making babies. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about, boy? Hey, boy, it's some black women out here, man. Look here, man. How many black women you be seeing? Them girls be having 4, 5 kids, 3, 4 different niggas. Boy, I remember that nigga Reggie was dating a woman. That woman had like 9 or 10 kids. When you looked at her, you couldn't even tell she had all them children. If you just would have seen her out there, I'm talking about, she still had a nice shape and all to be spitting out all them children, and it was like from 8, 9 different niggas. For real.
God, 9 kids, 9 niggas.
And the word part was, and he was around there messing with her.
It was like dashiki.
Shooty, she was past that.
Dashiki.
Soon I'd have walked up and be like, how many kids you got? 9. How many men? 9. I think I gotta go to work. Somebody calling me. You know what I'm saying? The reason why I say that, it might sound funny though, right? I'm telling y'all, sister, son, it's real talk, man. And it's, Lord will it probably be more women come with us got single that be like, a lot of times why dudes don't be wanting to mess with a woman who got kids because they don't want to mess with the men that you had them kids with.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? They don't really want to, it don't necessarily mean that they don't want to come in and take on them kids, but they don't want to take on that headache of dealing with the dudes. You know what I'm saying? Because this stuff come along with that. The same reason on the flip side, you'll have some women that don't want to deal with a man who got some kids because they don't want to deal with them women. Because just like women be having multiple children by different men, it's a lot of men out here got children from multiple different women, and a lot of them women don't want, oh, you got 4 kids from 3 different women, and then don't mess around, them women be bitter. You know what I'm saying? And she got to put up with all this nonsense. You got some women that they can actually, okay, you know, hey, they daddy with this woman and that woman and his kid's mama, they cool, you know what I'm saying? They sit down, mess around. If they got kids, them two had kids together, they ingratiate them kids together because they siblings and all that, and don't be no problem. But that's rare though. Because most people are not mature enough to conduct themselves that way. That's when you have to be an adult and put all that petty stuff you got going on to the side. That's just being honest though, man. I know sometimes people have little illusions in their head and thoughts, man, but let's just go and be honest. Male or female, you got a lot of kids, man. If you got 1 child, 2 child, 2 children, 3 children. You know what I'm saying? And you not married. Yeah, man, you're gonna have some issues getting a mate. You already your pool of candidates is already small. It ain't that many people walking in this way. So that's why. But sometimes I tell y'all something though, while I'm thinking about it. Sometimes the Lord had you single for a reason, because it's gonna be easier for you to focus on Him than to be dealing with a mate. And that when you, because regardless of what you think, 1 Corinthians chapter 7, I'll show you. 1 Corinthians chapter 7. Let's see what verse I want. About verse 33, 31, or 32. I mean, ain't nothing wrong. Everybody should want to be married, but you got to make sure that you ready for that. You know what I'm saying? And if you ain't ready for it, all you need to be doing is getting yourself right with the Lord so you can be prepared for it. So you can know what to do. A lot of y'all ain't going to do nothing but run your wife or your husband away. Then you're going to be right back in the same situation. Single again. Only difference is you can't marry nobody. You done spun the marriage card. Y'all need to stop daydreaming about loving somebody and daydream about loving the Lord. But I would have you without carefulness, that he that is unmarried care for the things that belong to the Lord, how he may please the Lord. But he that is married care for the things that are of the world, how he may please his wife. There is a difference also between a wife and a virgin. The unmarried woman care for the things of the Lord, that she may be kodesh both in body and in spirit. But she that is married care for the things of the world, how she may please her husband. And this I speak for your own profit, that I may not cast a snare upon you, but for that which is comely, that you may attend unto the Lord without distraction. You know what I'm saying? And don't you know funny, you always hear the Hebrews say, virgin don't mean unmarried woman, but right there it mean unmarried woman, but it don't mean it nowhere else. But you see the thing he said that you can carry on without distraction. Because see, you're going to sit back, you get married, man, the Lord is not going to get the fullness of your thought process as you would if you were single. You know, he know, because I done talked about this plenty of times. I didn't want to get married. Because I say, especially then, my mind was so focused on this here, I wasn't ready for it. I wasn't thinking about it. I ain't care for it. Because all I would focus on, let me get my soul say. See, some of y'all say that, but your mind don't be on that. And it shows because of the discussions that you have or things of that nature. If you're sitting around thinking about love, talking about marriage, that's really what you want to do. That's where your mind is at. You know what I'm saying? But yet you don't love God. How you going to love a husband? Really, Lizzie? Back to Exodus chapter 1. And she put the whole thing in her mouth. Golly, Lizzie. Leah used to do the same thing though. Take that thing and just put it in the whole mouth and just push it. See, that'll make it stay in there. Well, we start at verse 8. Verse 7. And the children of Israel were fruitful and increased abundantly and multiplied and waxed exceeding mighty. And the land was filled with them. Now there arose up a new king over Egypt, which knew not Joseph. And he said unto his people, behold, the people of the children of Israel are more and mightier than we. Come, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply, they come to pass when there fall out any war. They join also unto our enemies and fight against us, so get them up out of the land. Why do you think these people want to kill you? I've done told y'all before, these people waiting for us to snap. That's real. Now why you think they made birth control? Why you think they made condoms? The little shots, all that type of stuff. They said, we want you to get freaky, just don't want you to have no babies. We don't care. We don't teach you not to fornicate. We don't teach you no abstinence. We don't care nothing about that there. Just put these Jimmy hats on. Just take these pills. Then the word part is, them girls take them shots they used to be fine, blow up big as a balloon. Now you fat and you ain't got to worry about having no baby because ain't nobody going to sleep with you. Yeah, they say to get a skinny one's a booty, then they go crazy. Then they think, ain't this amazing? That's all a black woman needs is a booty. You can't tell her nothing. Can't tell her nothing. She thinks she the rawest thing since sliced bread. What you gonna do when that nigga get tired of your boy? Ain't but so much he can do it. Ain't but so much BBD on that. He smacked it up, he flipped it, he rubbed it down. Oh no, it's over with. Now what?
That's the old note.
Like, oh no, what was I doing? Now I got a baby from him. Now he hate life. I done told y'all this before. All them niggas you be seeing on them talk shows, man. The only reason why they be on there, because they been got a woman pregnant they ain't want nothing to do with it. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot of time. It's only a few of them that really be like, man, this woman was around here jumping on penises. You know what I'm saying? Or they been slept with the community whore. You know what I'm talking about? And she trying to throw the baby on them. But you sat back, you know you hit a raw dumb nigga. Just like y'all, some of y'all done seen it. I done seen niggas do it. Like, what these niggas be running a train on a woman? It's always one nigga.
What?
He got to do this here. Bareback patrol. He be the one to get her pregnant. I'm telling you, man. He showed you my homeboy sister that was real unattractive in the face. A lot of them niggas went in there and hit her raw. You heard what a girl say, man. She talking about don't joke like that. Somebody did me like that. Kicked in her stomach to kill the baby. You know what I'm saying? It sounds funny, but it ain't really that funny because that's bad. That's horrible. They ain't like this here, but that's how dudes be thinking because it's not necessarily that they don't want the child. They don't be wanting nothing to do with the mama. That's why you have to be real cognizant where you plop or drop your seed at. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of people like this here. We done had it. It's a lot of niggas be like, boy, if I had did it all over again, say I ain't mad at my children, but boy, I wouldn't have chose this nigga right here. See, y'all don't be thinking about none of that stuff. See, sometimes a lot of y'all be young. You know what I'm saying? And you ain't think about it. Some of y'all made a conscious decision to have a baby with somebody you knew you had no business having a baby with. You know what I'm saying? I knew I'm like this here. Boy, I'm telling you, I told y'all this before. There's a lot of women out there. I said, man, I know, man, I don't want this woman to have my child, man. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. It was some of them, if it happened, I wouldn't have been upset. And it was like, oh, no. I want to tell you, but sometimes you had to have enough sense of, well, I don't even want to take the chance. I'll just pass. You know what I'm saying? Because there's some niggas who didn't pass, now they stuck. I'm telling you. We done told this story so many times, man. My homeboy, this first baby mama, man, his mama used to tell him every day, you better leave that girl alone. He say, but her booty fat, though. But her booty fat, though. He been stuck with him. Luckily for him, his daughter almost 18. She creeped, leave time be moving. She creeping up on 18. I think what this is, she'll be 16 years old this year. She was born 99 one.
I know we're still in school. We skipped school to go see her. I know we're still praying.
Yeah, she could have been
I'm
about,
not even had the baby.
she could have been about either 15, 16, about 16 years old. You know what I'm saying? She almost grown. That man been going through it the day she popped up and told her she was having it baby. I told some of y'all this before, man. This woman told my homeboy the baby needs some clothes. He said, I just bought her some clothes. He said, they dirty. Go wash them then.
Come on, man.
Didn't want to get up and go wash the clothes, man. Just felt like he just supposed to buy the girl some more stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the big, you know what's wrong with black people? We the only race of people who will choose our mate based on sexual prowess and physical looks.
Yep.
Caucasians don't breed that way. Not the ones who got a brain, because some of them do.
Japanese don't either.
Japanese, Asian people definitely don't breed that
They
way.
don't care nothing about what you look like, what you buy, what you got going
Yeah,
on.
they don't care nothing about how you can swing that meat. They don't care nothing about how you can toot your Buddha up. They don't care nothing about none of that.
Because the Asians ain't got no meat and they ain't got no booty.
They say because they ain't got no. So one of them Asian dudes gonna come. One of them Asian dudes gonna come up and drop his pants in front of you talking about who ain't got no meat.
What are you saying? God bless me.
Hey, what'd you say? They said they can't go about them dogs and the woman. What'd you say, Delta? Well, because them white folks freaky like that, though. Yeah, they'll watch you bang they getting off for he in the back playing with himself. They freaky people. You know what I'm saying? They say we freaky. Them some freaky people. Come tell you, I used to sell drugs, man. Most of my customers were white. Them some freaky people, man.
Mine too.
You know what I'm saying? They some freaky people. I done seen a dude smoke some dope, put some lingerie on, and go have sex with a woman with the lingerie on. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't care. See, y'all ain't been around smokers. If you've been serving some smokers, man, and they comfortable with you, they could care less about anything they do in front of you. You know what I'm talking about? All that trying to be discreet, that stuff don't mean nothing. Same way we was in Mama Creek's house, that woman just dropped all her clothes right there. All I can remember this nigga saying is, I can't believe you just did that. Dropped the clothes right there. No shame. She didn't care nothing about, I don't know this man who's sitting in here with her. Just got butt naked. I'm just appalled like, I can't believe you just did that. So I'm thinking that he said it. I'm like, this nigga here just did it. What in the world? Man, I was in a spot, man, at a hotel on University. The woman to my, ain't the police, just lift her skirt up. Man, please put your skirt back down. There was no need for, I believe you ain't got no wire. There was no need for you to do that. I'm talking about that some of them did come around, they had no care whatsoever. Some of the women be so bad that if you do something for them, whether they on drugs or not, they think automatically you want some sex. Especially if you're on drugs, they think that you want a sexual favor. Cause I did something for a smoke. She was like, they said, I could tell, like, I don't want to sleep with you, man. I just did that on the street. You can go. That's where they mind be at. But I'm telling you now, black people don't. You have, when you come to tell black people, I just seen this here, or a woman, I was telling y'all about it. A woman say, can you fall in love with somebody without a sexual encounter? And this woman another woman response was, I'm a real sexual person. I got to see what that penis do. All you worrying about is, you don't care what type of man he is. Long as he can freak you good. Number one, that's immature, the day is long. Number two, that's the mind of a slut. And number three, you always gonna be alone. Cause you picking a mate based on sex. What's gonna happen with your kid? What you gonna be able to, you with your daddy cause he can sling it real good. Now what happens when you get tired of how he treats you? And your children sat there and watched that for years. And the only reason why you stuck around is because he was banging you up real good. This woman basically intent was, if the sex good, we'll work the relationship out later. That's retarded. That's backwards. We the only people that think that way. You know what I'm saying? Everybody know they like to get freaky, have sex, whatever the case may be. But most people, first thing come to black people mind is, boy, I gotta see what that monkey like. I need to see what that pin. I wonder how big it is. I wonder how. That's all you thinking about. You ain't thinking about how this woman gonna keep my house. How she gonna raise my children. How is this man gonna provide for me, protect for me, lead? You not thinking about none of that. So you thinking like a little girl. You thinking like a little boy. You thinking like you did when you were in high school. How can you think like that when you're in your mid-20s, early 30s, talking about you want to make a life partner? That make any sense to y'all? I can see if you thought like that when you were young. That don't make no sense. Now you done had kids and you still thinking like that. I'm talking about before the word even come to play. You've had children and you're still thinking like that. So what you gonna teach your daughter? Girl, don't get him unless he got if he got a big one, you know what to do with it. That's the one you marry right there. It don't matter if he ain't got no job, as long as he know how to work that room. You got women that actually do that. The nigga ain't about nothing. He slinging meat. She let him stay in the house and play the video game all day. You know plenty of them like that. There's plenty of women out here like that. I'm talking about supposed to be educated, smart women. Got a man in the house playing Madden and Call of Duty all day. And the only reason why she keep him in the house, because she don't want nobody else to have that penis. He ain't about nothing. Ain't gonna do nothing. Don't care about nothing. You got dudes that be like, oh, all I gotta do is put this penis on her, that's gonna keep her in check. That's how men look at a lot of women, how gullible and stupid you is. All I gotta do is freak her real good or blow on her booty and do something like this here, she'll chill out. I'm for real. When you can allow sex to dictate your thought process and that rules everything that you do, you have a severe problem. I remember Lil E said that to me one time. He said, so you wouldn't make a girl your old lady if she had some good brains? I said, absolutely not. He looked at me with a straight face asking me that question. At the time, I told him, no, she would just be the first woman that I would call when I was seeking that. I wouldn't make her my woman. You know what I'm saying? Men, I've seen dudes make a girl their old lady because what that mouth do. Think he ain't even sit back think about it. She making that mouth do everybody else do. You know what I'm saying? The crazy part is she making that mouth do what everybody else and you kissing her in the mouth.
In the mouth. He ain't kissing the mouth. She kissing the kids and all.
All you know is your mouth is a repository for semen and you just put it everywhere.
Got the boy eye.
Mama like, your son like, Mama, what is that smell?
Why is your breath leaking?
Y'all don't realize, I'm talking about, y'all sitting there thinking, man, this nigga, we want to hear, we're going to get to that word, but y'all need to hear this type of stuff. Sit back, start assessing how y'all picking y'all mates. Start back assessing your thought process, what you doing. Because I'm talking about, it might sound funny, but some of y'all would pick a mate right now. Some of y'all sitting back, I don't know if I really want to marry, because I want to have sex with him first, you slut. Yeah, I tell you that to every one of y'all face if you would ever step to me and say something stupid like that. You slut. That's what you showing me. You got the mind of one. I just call it like I see it. You come to me as a man, be like, yeah, man, I really want to see how that, you nasty bastard. You know what I'm talking about? You have no coon for discretion about yourself. That's all you think about? Sure. Oh yeah, I mean, but that's a woman. If a woman lets somebody call out her name, that's because her self-esteem low. You know what I'm saying? A lot of women do that there because they seen their mama get done like that. So they think that's acceptable behavior to let somebody cheat on them like that. Same way you were telling me what your daddy said. You got men that will tell their daughters that it's all right for a man to cheat on them because all men do it. You know what I'm saying? That ain't something. You know, I'll never tell you nothing like that. I ain't never told you nothing like that. I already told you, you don't accept that. Nigga can't be faithful to you. You send that rat bastard where he going. You sit back, you love yourself better than that. You finna let nobody be running over me doing me like that. You know what I'm saying? That's somebody, but when you sit back and look at it, it's a lot of men. So basically you telling your daughter to accept less. But the only reason why most men tell their daughter that, because they a slut. So he really ain't in no place to say, baby, don't let that man do you like that. And then they look at, well, why you do your old lady like that? Why you do your wife like that? Why you did mama like that? Hypocrite. See, you don't look at this type of stuff. Because children, y'all don't be looking at what y'all be saying to your kids, whether it be verbal, whether it be through your actions. Y'all don't be realizing what you teaching them. Maybe one day you can. Come on now. Where we at? About verse 11. Therefore they did set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens, and they built for Pharaoh treasure cities, Pithom and Ramses. But the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew, and they were grieved because of the children. The more they did us in slavery, the more we grew too. And they heard it, they were mad. Why you think they was having picnics? That's why I never, they don't tell me, let's go on a picnic. No, buddy. I know where that come from. I don't even like the term. I told y'all before. We have a feast, nigga, better not bring that red checker bowl, don't bring that around here. Tell them to send you back to where you came from. With a swift kick right in your tail. Look at Lizzie. I'm for real though. Pick a nigga. You know how sick you got to be to set a man on fire and eat a sandwich while you watching it? You know how sick of a mind you got to have? And they tell us we need to forget that. I need to remember the Holocaust, make a movie called Schindler's List. You know what I'm talking about?
Straight up, no. They ain't telling no lies.
You know what I'm saying? But you know what? Why they want Amistad? Why you want to see that? In the movie Amistad, they got them people around there singing to y'all. In the movie, they singing to y'all. You think these people don't know? In the movie, the slaves are singing to y'all off the ship. See, y'all, they didn't teach y'all that the slaves came off the ship singing, "Come by the water, Moses." How they knew about that? If these were some savages that ain't know nothing about no book, but they singing about y'all. They coming off the boat singing Kumbaya. They singing Kumbaya coming off the boat. These people hadn't forgotten, hadn't been stripped of their name and their God while they was on that boat. They had just been kicked out of their land. That's it. You know what I'm saying? These people sat back and look at, we know this is the people of the Most High God. We know who is with them. We must exterminate them. And they sat back and look at, man, we working them in the cotton field. We doing this here. We done separated their family. And they like this here. But them black, I'm talking about, man, when them white women seen that meat, them black dudes was standing where they lost their mind. So we ain't never seen nothing like this before. And they saying these niggas don't stop. Oh, for real.
Curse.
They said people say they were cursed. Matter of fact, that's true. With the Mormons, they say we were cursed to have with dark skin, flat noses, and elongated penises.
Insatiable sexual appetite.
That was the exact words. You look it up, man. The Mormons say we were cursed with it, niggas. With a dark skin, flat noses, and an elongated penis, and an insatiable. They say insatiable, say they can't even be quenched.
They said that to keep their women away.
Yeah.
See, they said they wasn't gonna keep them women away. You tell them women they cursed with a long penis.
That's the devil, baby. Don't you dare go over there.
They say you got some people sitting around. You got some of you niggas sitting around. That's a curse, boy. I'm glad to have it.
Boy, I'm cursed. Boy.
You know what I'm saying? They say that's a curse I'm happy to have then. You know what I'm saying? I'm for real, because you had these people butt booking naked, and all them white folks sitting there looking at them white men like this here. My God.
Put some clothes on.
You know what I'm saying? They gonna bring somebody around up. Look at this. This is not right.
He's got 3 legs.
Them black women come around there, they say, look at her bum. Them white women, hey, but them white men went to looking at y'all. They went to slobbing out the mouth. They like this here. Cause they couldn't keep, you couldn't keep them off of y'all. You know what I'm talking about? That's why you cleave to these white folks now. That's why every time something go down, I go to the government and get some assistance. Massa take care of me. He loves me. You know what I'm talking about? Nigga do something, I call the police on you. And he coming. You know what I'm talking about? That's the first thing they say. We were just in a child support office, me and my boy. I seen that brother just broke down. Told him, boy, you gotta pay $500 by next week. Your license gone. This a nigga used to be up there playing basketball with us on Sunbeam. I seen his face drop so hard, I felt sorry for him. I even seen a nigga used to stay with Big D in there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
He was in there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I already know, like, cause Mouth found out real quick, state of Florida don't play.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could go file for some food stamps or Medicaid if you want them. Where that dead at? See, like when they gave her the paper, they were like, name your 3-4 last sexual partner. She thought they were trying to be funny, but state of Florida like this here. If you ain't sure,
Yeah.
put all them niggas on here. And we'll hunt all them niggas down and we'll test all them niggas. Cause we want to make sure, cause if you're coming to get anything from us, nigga, hey, that nigga gotta pay something.
Yeah, we need it back.
He gotta pay. They don't play that junk. You know what I'm talking about? But at the same time, I can't really blame them. That's not the state job. You know what I'm saying? State of Florida really trying to make it like this here, man. Nigga, you should take care of your own churn. See, you got a lot of niggas feel like child support evil is wicked. It's only evil and wicked when a woman uses it for malicious intent. You know what I'm saying? But like I say, down here in this state, ain't no option. If they file for anything from the Department of Children and Families, them people coming to holler. And the only way you can get around that is if you show them that you and that man have a legally binding agreement and they'll leave it alone.
That's what we did.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, I know. That's another one of the brothers and sisters on here, they did that too. That's why they let them alone. That's the only way they gonna leave you alone. If you don't have no legally binding agreement, well, the people don't care. When I'm talking about legally binding, signed by both parties and the side of 2 or 3 witnesses, notarized, not none of that home stuff you writ down to the house. They don't respect none of that. I'm for real, like you got to really do it properly. Cause they gonna come for you. Some states ain't like that. Cause these dudes talking about the dude that got killed, he running from a child support warrant. But nevertheless, some of these dudes get put on child support cause they some busted niggas. Come on, man. Her sister right now, the nigga only gotta pay $50 a month and can't do that.
Right.
That. Nigga had like $50 a month. What is $50 a month gonna do for a 2-year-old?
Nothing.
That nigga can eat $50 a week in food, man. Shoot, messing with Kingston about 2-3 days. That boy can go. If it's something he want to eat. You know what I'm saying? But it's just sad though. This why these people got to come down and run some people down. I know every dude on child support ain't like that. But then you got some nigga, boy, they can't even pay it. Don't even want to pay it. You know what I'm talking about? Man, now look at, I already know. You say what you want. If you in the state of Florida and you got kids, male or female, they gonna do it. Matter of fact, my sister talking about like this here, boy, they put her mama on child support. And she didn't even ask them to do it. This state don't play by that. They don't play by that. You know what I'm talking about? Come down here talking about you want some food stamp, you want some cash assistance, you want some Medicaid. You know what I'm talking about? Only thing they ain't gonna holler at you back, you want a life assistance from. Anything else? What they gonna want to know? Where they dead at? Don't worry, we'll find it. You know what I'm talking about? And if you don't want to help us out, we ain't gonna get it to you. They don't play about that. But it should be like that. Nowhere in the world should somebody force you to do what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to already do it. Y'all already been shown that. That boy, God take care of your children. You don't believe it? Go look at the video that's named the same thing after that Deuteronomy 7:9. Because we done went through that before. God take care of his household. Book say if a man don't take care of his own, especially they of his own household, he's an infidel and denied the faith. So if God doesn't take care of his own children and his own wife, you ain't got no business not doing it for yours. Ain't no way in the world you gonna tell me you believe in God, you don't take care of your kids. You's a lying nigga. And if you around here come out you an Israelite screaming about child support, this nigga, who cares, nigga, just pay it. You know what I'm talking about? Just pay it. At the end of the day, you own it, nigga. Stop crying about it, just pay it. Ain't nothing worse than a grown man crying about something you can't change. Why is a grown man even crying about taking care of his own kids anyway?
I can't see how niggas be a dead.
I can't neither. Just on the simple fight up. My daddy wasn't there no way. So I know I ain't finna turn around and do mine like that.
No.
You know what I'm talking about? I'm gonna go ahead and do what I gotta do for mine, boy. Boy, I'm talking about we gotta shovel doo-doo, that's what it is, boy. Them niggas gotta eat. Them niggas need new drawers. Them niggas need socks.
The roof over their head.
That's a given.
All that.
Shoot, that nigga like to eat. Shoot, I like to eat too. You know what I'm saying? Look like this here, Daddy, I want something to eat. You sit there looking at him like, shoot, nigga, I don't know what to tell you. Matter of fact, he can't even look at you and tell you, Daddy, I want something to eat, because you ain't even come around there to holler at you. Come on, y'all. Verse 13. And the Egyptians made the children of Israel to serve with rigor, and they made their lives bitter with hard bondage and mortar and brick, and in all manner of service in the field. All their service wherein they made them to serve was with rigor. And the king of Egypt spake to the Hebrew midwives, of which the name of one was Sapphira, and the name of the other Puah. And he said, when you do the office of a midwife to the Hebrew women, and see them upon the stools, if it be a son, then you shall kill him. But if it be a daughter, then she shall live. But the midwives feared God and did not as the king of Egypt commanded them, but saved the men children alive. You sit back and look at it, it's a lot of people, when we were in slavery, they did a lot to try to save these people. But you still notice the key thing he said? He said, kill the sons, man. We don't care nothing about the daughters. I be telling y'all that said, y'all women got an old inflated sense of self-importance. Them people do not fear you and they do not see you. You just the tool to use to get what they want done. You notice he said, let's cut off Israel that his name may me and no more remember. Ain't no woman named Israel. You know what I'm talking about? They don't care nothing. They say you can let the women live. We don't care nothing about them. Or we gonna keep them alive if they have sex with them. You know what I'm talking about? But sitting in their room, every man in their room an enemy of the state. It ain't even came out the womb yet. Enemy of the state.
Back up.
Enemy of the state. Y'all don't sit back and realize when he say kill all the men children because they were enemy of the state.
Sit down.
You were enemy of the state. These people despised you from the day you were born. Matter of fact, shoot, on that same song, Point of No Return, Scarface said that they hate you in the vagina that you came through. You know what I'm talking about? Y'all don't realize that a girl be born, man, them people don't care nothing about that. Nigga, them people ain't care nothing about no Harriet Tubman. You can free all the slaves you want. They were scared of that turn though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? They were scared of him. You think the people were worried about Coretta Scott King and Betty Shabazz? That's why they still living. Well, they ain't living no more. But that's why they didn't kill them. Who is you? Coretta Scott. What you worried about you for? Anybody listening to you? How many black women you done seen up, stood up? How many black women you know they done assassinated? Don't worry, I'll wait. Anybody? Anybody know a black woman y'all know of that they assassinated? What about a white woman? What about an Asian woman? Every woman? Yeah, that's one. They sure did knock her off over there in Pakistan.
No.
They knocked her off.
We say Bin Laden was murdered like in 2004.
Mm-hmm. They sure did. Forgot about her. Sure did. Knocked her right clean on all. They saw this whole running on mouth. But they ain't kill her because she was starting to. She just dropped a dime. I'm for real, she did. She got in the speech and said Bin Laden been dead. And she came up stank not too long after that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they murked Princess Diana, but they ain't never been a woman who stood up and they perceived her to be a threat. And we got to kill her. They perceived Fred Hampton to be a threat. They perceived Huey P. Newton to be a threat. They perceived Malcolm X to be a threat. They perceived Martin Luther King to be a threat. That's why they followed them around. Ain't no FBI files on no black woman. Niggas always screaming about pop people. Assata Shakur. She wasn't no threat. It was the men they wanted. If they really wanted that woman, they would have went to Cuba and been snatched her up out of there. Care nothing about her. It was them Black Panther men she was with in New Jersey that they wanted. They got all of them. Most of them died in prison or they killed them. Matula Shakur, they defended him as a threat. He was a Black Panther. All them people that this man, sit back and look at it. Pop Mama's supposed to have been a Black Panther. But yet she went up against some charges unspeakable and got out. You ain't no threat. They were scared of Pop.
And she's still here.
And she's still here.
Walking the street free, not scared of nothing.
They were scared of Pop.
You know, Pastor say because the black woman will sell out real quick too.
Exactly. We already know that. We already know that. That's my whole point. We already know that. Man, what's going to happen? Let's just get this example. And that happened one time when I got arrested, K sent me to prison. Rondish Marie was with me. When the police came, this nigga already boo-hoo crying.
Oh my God.
I'm sitting there looking at her. I'm like, what is you crying for? They said you said the weed. I said, but you know they gonna say that. I know. I said, well, what you crying for? You know what I'm talking about? Nigga, it ain't nothing but some weed. That's your rusty pistol up on. This nigga had a pistol that was so rusty with no clip.
Yeah.
Talking about, I'll pull it on somebody. And what you gonna do with him? Bang, I shot you. You know what I'm saying? I had the rocks. I had the rocks.
Yeah.
She just took credit for the weed. They tried to put the pistol on me, but I wouldn't have let her go down with Cardo. I ain't touched the gun. It wasn't in my possession. This nigga, she ain't fold though, but they already know what y'all so emotional. Y'all gonna sit there and think about them dykes gonna get me. They know you gonna sell out. They go to running that money in y'all face, give y'all a little face. See, we'll give you a little bit of money. They know you gonna flip out. They know a man gonna stand firm, he ain't gonna flip. Only niggas who flip is hoe niggas. And they usually haters, jealous, so feminine already in itself because they got an effeminate mind. You know what I'm talking about? That's it. I'm talking about, I just know that. They're just from living. Man, oh man, all they got to do is wave the right amount of money in some of y'all face, and some of y'all will do anything. That's why I don't sit back and tell some of you women, you don't never sit down and look on a woman who sold her body and make some money, because some of y'all do the same thing in the heartbeat. Nigga offer you the right amount of money. Some of y'all will sell y'all money, your body for some money just to date a nigga who got some money. You doing the same thing, just in a different way. You know what I'm talking about? Shoot. You can sit back and look at, girl, you seen that nigga around there the other day. That nigga worth 20 million. You gonna do everything in your power try to put your vagina on that nigga so you can get some of that money. How you any different? You hoeing for some money. You didn't want nothing to do with him. You feel like if I get my tentacles in and I can get me this whip and I can be living the high life. There's too many women out here that, you know what they call them? They can call them gold diggers. I just call them a prostitute that don't sell it to everybody.
You just ain't streetwalk.
You know what I'm saying? No, I mean, they just ain't tricking. They just trying to clack their tentacles in one specific man. Or as what they call them. I forgot what the boys in Louisiana used to call them. We call them sack chasers. But I know they call them something else. You know what I'm saying? When we talk about sack, we're not talking about testicles here, buddy. Y'all just keep that in mind. Seeking after that sack of money. Or that sack of gold. That's what a lot of women look for. That's what a lot of y'all sit back and look at. They know, average man know, the average man know, man, all I got to do is pull up in an expensive car with a nice chain on, and I can get me some. I done seen it happen. I was riding with a nigga. We in a lap. We pulled up to after 11. These two hoes ran straight up to the car. He sitting here looking at me. Well, you ain't saying nothing. I said, we ain't got to say nothing. The light said it all. All you had to do was tell him to get in. You know what I'm talking about? You sitting here, nigga, I'm in the passenger seat. What I look like? You the one driving, I'm riding with you. You know what I'm talking about? I don't even come out here to this time. He called himself trying to impress me with the Remy and the weed. Let's ride out here in the rental. We in a rental. It ain't even your life. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm saying? It's made me think about what I told Everett. I want to tell him I'm not going to be a party to your flaws.
I won't be a part of that.
Straight up. You know what I'm saying? If you want to pull up to try to snatch some freaks, all you had to do was just pull up in the light, roll the window down. What's happening? Oh, well, get on in.
Yeah, you trying to ride or something?
You know what I'm talking about? This nigga here. I'm sitting here looking at this nigga like, I'm sitting there looking at this old super lame nigga here, man, going all this here. Then when they don't get in the car, he look at me talking about, why you ain't say nothing?
I feel like it's on you.
Like it's on me.
He ain't used to give him himself. That's why he
That's why he did that, because I knew what to do.
with me.
I knew what to do.
Let them hold.
Man, come on, man.
Like them hold.
If I pull up in a 600 Benz, I ain't got to say, all I got to do is roll a window down.
Come here.
You know what I'm talking about?
Come on.
And if I'm in a 600 Benz, all I got to do, because you know I'm going to have a rollie on, just stick it out the window.
Show
Show sunshine. Like R. Kelly said, man, he talking about nuggets in the Rolex, nigga. We ain't got it for the time. Just stick it out the window.
Can't even see the time.
Pull it. Look at things here. Can't even see the time. Look at my watch. You might go blind. Pull it right back in the window. Just sit back. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Mm-hmm. Ooh, all you want. Come on. That's all you got to do. You ain't got to do nothing else.
What you
He didn't say don't even want to pull no pinky ring out. You pull the pinky ring out, she definitely gonna go crazy. And he got a chain on, girl.
We both going.
You know what I'm talking about? And all they sit back thinking is, I'm gonna poke a hole in the rubber. Cause all they think about, if I get a baby from him, he done. This how our people think. This how our people think now. You know what I'm saying? I'm for real, cause that's why they know that. All they know is they just got to wave something shiny in a black woman's face and the right amount of money, you'll turn on that nigga in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat. You know what I'm saying? And you know what that shows? You ain't got no integrity. No integrity whatsoever. Y'all know I ain't lying, because some of y'all done got with that. Y'all ain't going to want to admit it. Y'all ain't going to want to admit it. Well, in Texas, I know they called them boppers. You know, Pimp C them had a song like that there. They say she come out with handsome. He said, I ain't feel no pride. He said, all she want to do is F my ride.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because the nigga already know that now. I'm pulling up in that Benz, you don't want me. Because if I were pulling up in a Tempo or a Ford Escort or a Taurus, you wouldn't even look at me.
Nope.
You know what I'm talking about? Man, Pop used to say it all the time when I was poor, man, these hoes ain't look at me. I started rapping, they came out of everywhere. See, that's the difference with y'all women. Y'all how simple y'all, you really be thinking a nigga think you actually like them. We already know you don't.
Yeah.
And they say, but I'm going to smash it low and go my way. I don't be knowing that.
Just throwing your game back to you.
It's right back to you. Because a nigga know that, man. You might look at it, don't necessarily mean, oh, like that you ugly or none of that. This stuff. Nigga already know you ain't got no money. I'm talking about, it's like this here. They don't look at you the same. They say you were around here in the bucket, bending corner, you were the same dude. Now you done came up, you in the ES 430. You in the S5.
Something special.
You in the Range Rover. You know what I'm talking about? They like this here, girl, that nigga there fine.
I got fine all of a sudden.
He done got fine all of a sudden. Nigga said he was just talking trash about that nigga 3 weeks ago. I don't know, you know, it was just, I don't know what I was thinking about, girl. I was tripping. Y'all know I ain't lying. Come on around here to Matthew chapter 1. Matthew chapter 2, actually. Y'all know I ain't lying. It might seem like, well, we got to talk to y'all about this type of stuff, because y'all mentality got to get better. we going to deal with this Savior thing. But hey, man, Lord put it in my mind to tell it to you, you need to hear it.
Matthew
Chapter 2, verse 1. You need to hear it. But we sit back looking at this here. These people say, let's kill the men children, because you ain't no threat. You women are no threat. Man, look here, man. They love if a black woman walk up and she done had four dogs. They hate to see like this here. I was just telling, I was talking, because Nell remember his studio. Because I used to sit down and talk to this nigga when I was locked up. That nigga big size.
Oh, no.
All he had was sons.
No.
And the nigga used to tell me, he say, man, little homie Chan, this is what I used to do with him. Take him out there, have him doing calisthenics, have him doing push-up, all in the line. He would raise him to be disciplined. I'm telling you, man, the nigga nickname in the street literally was Psycho Dave.
Yes.
The nigga was a stone cold killer. You sit down and talk with him, and you would think this is the most humble, peaceful man you would ever come across in your life. One of the coolest dudes I've ever met. I could sit down and talk with this nigga all day. When the nigga got out and came back after they snatched him up, he said, little homie, you ain't even remember me, did it? I said, it took me a minute, your hair was gone. Like, this is a nigga, I'm talking about on the street. I don't care if he a killer or not. I could have rode with this nigga every day, because you going to get something from him. You know what I'm talking about? Nigga will bust your whole brain out. Whole brain.
Yeah, this I think you said the whole family had locked down. They took the church to them family.
Yeah.
It's so many of them.
That nigga had about, nigga told me no joke, man. I think the nigga had about 10 or 12 sons, man. Sons. You know what I'm saying? Sons. He would teach them to be, even though they were dealing with Dr. York and all this type of crazy stuff, he was teaching them a manner of discipline, a way of thinking, even though this nigga would, if that nigga had beef, and he wanted to kill somebody in this room, this man would have killed everybody in this room and walked off and thought nothing about it. But if you met him and you didn't know that about him, you wouldn't even think he was capable of that. Why you think they fear him? Ain't damn one of y'all, they ain't worried about damn one of y'all doing that. You got to know something when a nigga nickname literally is Psycho Dave. That's literally his nickname.
No.
And he flipped that in his rap name, because nigga know this nigga will kill you dead.
Big sight, yeah.
Kill you dead. Pure garbage. Cool nigga though.
Yeah.
Cool nigga
Put
though.
on on sight.
He probably too young.
Langston.
Oh, Langston. I said Langston. I couldn't say Dwight too young. You remember that nigga had that clown head studio?
Clown, something like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
Sykes.
Sight, yeah.
Oh, he was a killer?
What?
I thought he was a gospel rapper.
No.
No.
Big time don't want.
Straight up.
He said, what?
He was on.
He was so garbage. Man,
Well, you know that
He was pure garbage though, man. But he was on that chopper stopper, boy. I was a real live killer.
He get you that what?
Real live killer.
I'm telling you.
Real, I'm telling you. But like I say, see how you take you looking at his music, but I'm talking about I done sat down and talked with this man. If you sit down and talk with this man.
I just never spent no time. I met him twice. He did at a video shoot.
But see, I'm talking about I'm incarcerated with him, and I ain't know he was no, you know what I'm talking about? I figured the nigga done did his thing, but I could tell by his demeanor and his speech and how he carried himself, this nigga will take a nigga out of here. You know what I'm talking about? The discipline and the level. But if you sit down and you actually have a conversation with him and talk with him, you would have no idea that this man could take and has taken human lives indiscriminately. You know what I'm talking about?
He
Humble.
got money too.
You know what I'm saying? Humble nigga.
Serious money. For being that humble.
You know what I'm talking
The
about?
money he was making.
Humble nigga. Nigga didn't want no trouble. But if you tried him, he was gonna keep. See, they fear that type of stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? They fear that. That's a threat to them. We gotta kill you. We gotta get you off. Why you think they put crack out here? They set these things up and say, let's call it a project. Let's put these niggas here, these niggas over here. Let's give them some guns. Let's give them some guns, and then put some crack in here, right here in the middle, and let's see what happens. You know what I'm saying? You wonder where you live, why it's called the projects. Because these people set up a social experiment. Literally, if you do the research, they set up a social experiment to sit back and see what would happen if we put a whole bunch of niggas in these buildings, a whole bunch of niggas in these buildings, and put some guns over here and some guns over here and put some drugs right here, and let's see what happens. And everybody poor. That's why we needed a savior. That's what we finna look at now. 2 and 1, Matthew. I know we done talked to you about a lot of stuff. You ready to roll? Because we got to get ready to get out of here in a little bit. Not real soon, but soon. Now Yahshua was born in Bethlehem of Judea in the days of Herod the king. Behold, there came wise men from the east to Jerusalem, saying, where is he that is born King of the Jews? For we have seen his star in the east and are come to worship him. When Herod the king heard these things, he was troubled, and all Jerusalem with him. When he gathered all the chief priests and the scribes of the people together, he demanded of them where the Messiah should be born. So he wanted to know what the book say. Just like them people knew we were the people of the book when we came over here on these ships. This the people of the book. We got to get rid of them. And they said unto him in Bethlehem of Judea, for thus it is written by the prophet, O thou Bethlehem in the land of Judah, are not the least among the princes of Judah? For out of thee shall come a governor that shall rule my people Israel. Then Herod, when he had privily called the wise men, inquired of them diligently what time the star appeared. And he sent into Bethlehem and said, go and search diligently for the young child, and when you have found him, bring me word again, and they may come and worship him also. And when they heard the king, they departed, and lo, the star which they saw in the east went before them till it came and stood over where the young child was. And when they saw the star, they rejoiced with exceeding great joy. And when they came into the house, they saw the young child with Mary his mother, and fell down and worshipped him. And when they had opened their treasures, they presented unto him gifts, gold and frankincense and myrrh. And being warned of God in a dream that they should not return to Herod, they departed to their own country another way. And when they departed, behold, the angel of Yah appeared to Joseph in a dream, saying, Arise, take the young child and his mother, and flee into Egypt. But be thou there until I bring thee word, for Herod will seek the young child to destroy him. And when he arose, he took the young child and his mother by night, and departed into Egypt. And was there until the death of Herod, that it might be fulfilled, which was spoken of Yah by the prophet, saying, Out of Egypt I called my son. We're going to go ahead and deal with this here, because you know it's some Hebrews saying this ain't about the Messiah. It's just historical context. It's a dude that actually stopped believing in the Messiah because somebody told him it wasn't about the Lord. Read verse 16 though. Then when Herod saw that he was mocked of the wise men, and was exceeding wroth, and sent forth and slew all the children that were in Bethlehem, and in all the coast thereof, from 2 years old and under, according to the time which he had diligently inquired of the wise men. Then was fulfilled that which was spoken by Jeremiah the prophet, saying, In Ramah was there a voice heard, lamentation and weeping, and great mourning, Rachel weeping for her children, and would not be comforted because they are not. So basically, even the same thing is going down now, because our sisters are weeping for their children, and they're not being comforted because their children are not. Do not think that a man, even though we sit back and we look at stuff according to the word, that we can't sympathize with the mourning that these women are having of seeing their sons murdered in the street, whether it be by the police or by the hands of another Hebrew. That's a horrible thing for a mother to see her son laying dead in the street, no matter what was the circumstance or how it's happening. Now sit back and think on these women watching her son being burnt alive, hung from a tree. Even when we sit back and go look at it, most of y'all done seen Malcolm X. You seen what they did to his daddy. They killed him, and it drove his mama insane. I read the autobiography, so it wasn't no stretch. That's literally what happened to his mama. Because you know what ends up happening? She go to fearing for her sons. That's why a lot of y'all coddle your sons and treat them like you treat them, because you scared what's going to happen to them. You don't allow them to be men, and then therefore in your calling of helping your son, because you scared for him, you've actually hurt him and made him a Nancy boy. You know what I'm saying? The way he ends up being that effeminate man that you see, or grow up to be a homosexual. Because he done took on feminine ways from what he was. That's why I tell you, man, you can't baby them boys like, because you only do it because you fear for them. You know what's going, but you don't fear for your daughters though, because you know they ain't gonna do nothing to them. They ain't gonna do nothing to them. You don't hear about, it's very rare you hear about the police shooting a black woman down the street. It's very rare. Because they not looking for them. You know what I'm saying? Every now and then you see them slap a woman up, and that just be old buster. No, some of them do now. Some of them will come on through and just slap them up. I done seen a video, man, dash cam video, where one of them officers did a white woman so dirty. You know what I'm talking about? Just took her pretty much, just bounced all everywhere.
Recently.
They might have did that. I ain't even see. They probably did though. You know what I'm saying? You got some police, they don't care what race you are or what gender you are. They just feel like they can do you like that because they're the police. But now you sit back and look at how this relates to Psalms 83. It was in the hearts of these people to cut off Israel that the name would be stopped. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what was in Herod's heart. Where is he that's king of the Jews? Where is Israel? Let's cut him off, because if we cut him off, they can't be a nation. A nation got to have a ruler. You got to remember now. Hold on. Let's look at 1 John chapter 3. Matter of fact, make it chapter 5. 1 John 5 and 1. I want y'all to look at something. This is what they want to stop. This is why they want to cut you off. This is where the conspiracy come in at. This is why they want to do this to you. Because Psalms 83 say there's a conspiracy to cut them off from being a people before you. This is what he say. Whosoever believe that Yahshua is the Messiah is born of God. Everyone that love him that begat love him also that is begotten of him. By this we know that we love the children of God when we love God and keep his commandments. For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous. For whatsoever is born of God overcome the world. And this is the victory that overcome the world, even our faith. This is why they got to kill you. Now we're going to go back and look at Moses again. Let's go back and look at Exodus chapter 2 and look at Moses again. Because you got to sit back and look at, matter of fact, get me Acts chapter 7, then we go to Exodus chapter 2. We got to look at something with Moses first. We got to look at something in Acts chapter 7 so you can see the parallel of going back to why J. Edgar Hoover would say we got to stop the rise of a black Messiah. Acts chapter 7 about verse 33. I'll go ahead about verse 28. Hold on. That's matter of fact, back me up to 22. Hold on. Matter of fact, that's even better. 17. Look at what Stephen is telling these people. Acts 7 and 17, everybody. Y'all good? Y'all ready? And he said, but when the time of the promise drew nigh, which God had swore to Abraham, the people grew and multiplied in Egypt. You see what he said? When the time of the promise came close. Remember how we just read last night that those of us that are seeking the promise of a new heaven and new earth, that we should dwell in a particular type of way. You know what's coming close? Don't you know? Think. You know the closer it comes to the promise of the Lord coming back to get up, these people gonna act a donkey fool. Why you think they murking you like this? The time of the promise is coming. You think these people don't know we're gonna leave him? You think these people don't know who we are? I'm talking about those that really got it. Now, of course, don't be simple and think every police officer riding around, there goes an Israelite, let me kill it. You know what I'm talking about? But the people that are in power, they know. They know what time it is. And they know that the time of the promise is drawing closer. And the closer we get to the promise, that's why we read about, that's why the Lord told you these people, they're going to do the same thing. Let's eliminate them. Let's kill them. Come on. He said, till another king arose, which knew not Joseph. The same dealt subtly with our kindred and evil entreated our fathers, so that they cast out their young children to the end that they might not live. That's what they're doing now. But they've been doing it for decades. I'm telling you. Now I'm talking about it can't, like these niggas kill me when they go to talking about rap music. Nigga, rap music was never for the benefit of black people. We actually sat down and looked at the video when they broke down these so-called conscious rappers back in the 80s. Them niggas were talking about the same junk the rest of them niggas were talking about. Nigga, Public Enemy wasn't what they create us to make them think that they was. Look how Flavor Flav act. You know full well you niggas couldn't been about that. You got a nigga like that running with you. You know what I'm talking about? I'm for real though. But when you sit back and look at it, KRS-One's supposed to been all this here. You all here, you talking about selling dope on one of your songs. Murking niggas. Oh, you got to look at the message. Man, nigga ain't hearing none of that stuff, man. That stuff wasn't never no good because it was all worldliness from the start. If it wasn't about killing or selling dope, it was about hoeing. Getting drunk. Getting high. You know what I'm saying? You had the East Coast rappers upset because the West Coast rappers took it from them because they went to talking about gangster stuff when NWA came out. But it was East Coast rappers talking about it then. You just didn't get the shine for it because they didn't want to push you. Y'all wasn't rapping it right. I'm serious though. I'm talking about the way they want to do it. Because coincide, y'all don't sit back and see the play how they did it because y'all young, y'all wasn't living. When they came out with NWA and went pushing all that, the movie Colors came out right behind it. So, any of y'all ever seen Colors?
Oh, yeah.
Colors was a movie about gang banging in L.A. It's got the man Robert Duvall in it. He actually played a police officer that actually cared about the dudes in the neighborhood. But it was basically to show niggas in other parts of the country, this how you gang bang. Right after that, other places started doing it. A lot of these gangs, I was just telling y'all this not too long ago, the Vice Lords and a lot of these gangs, they were not gangs like that. They were actually community groups. Even the Bloods and Crips didn't start out that way. They didn't start out that way. But then over time it got corrupted. These people come back and they see this stuff and they want to use that as a means to exploit so the rest of you niggas can do it because they know movies and television program people thinking and music too on how they want you to act. Y'all, I'm talking about, you sit back and think that you don't find that's a coincidence. Niggas with attitude come out and colors come out right behind that. Ice Cube wasn't no gangster. That man say when they signed that record deal, he was at Arizona State University. And he the one wrote all the raps. Dre did all the producing and Cube wrote all the rhymes. The only one of them who was really in the street was Eazy-E. You know what I'm talking about? He was the only one. But it's what they were pushing. And then next thing you know, you got Cool G rap starts to get a little bigger. You know what I'm talking about? And then you got more and more of them. And the next thing you know, here come the Chronic. And it was over then. When the Chronic came out, it was a done deal. You had suburban white people talking about it ain't nothing but a G thing. And then next thing you know, here comes Snoop. You know what I'm talking about? And it got bigger and bigger and bigger. You know what I'm talking about? So then after that, then the early 90s come, here come Biggie. Here come Mobb Deep. Here come Pop. You know what I'm talking about? All these dudes coming at this stuff, all of them might have did it in a different way and might have had different objectives in their records. But at the same time, they talking about the same stuff that would permeate into destroying the community. You know what I'm talking about? And on top of that, not only do they come with NWA, not only do they come with colors, but then crack cocaine come right along with that. You know what I'm talking about? This is an avalanche for disaster. You know what I'm talking about? Next thing you know, you got 90s babies, and we all scarred.
Hold up, bro. Trying to say.
Trying to say, y'all scarred. You know what I'm talking about? I pretty much said it. You know what I'm talking about?
You said trip?
Hey, I'm talking about, sit back and look at it. Then you got the late 90s when we came out, and you got niggas like DMX. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That came with him. And you got an old fake intellectual nigga like Nas.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Then they tried to push, dudes like Jay-Z, old flashy type hustler dudes. Then you got your southern rappers, they come out with it, and then they came with their South version of Jay-Z, they gave you T.I. You know what I'm talking about? We didn't even sit back and realize they gave us kind of the same dudes from different areas.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? That were rapping and carrying themselves in the same way.
Yeah.
Over and over.
You know what I'm saying? It was only a select few dudes that were actually different. You know what I'm talking about? But they said that this T.I. to Jay-Z of the South. What? You know what I'm talking about? It was only about a couple dudes, man, that was really different. That was Trick, that was Pimp C, and that was Scarface, and that's pretty much it. The rest of these niggas was carbon copies. Because they were trying to push something to you, because they get these dudes down and they tell them, you got to make a record like this. You got to make a record like this. And that's where you get it from. That's how you can get to the point where a Young Thug is out here. Now all the rappers are homosexual. It's focused with how they acted and rolling.
Yeah.
They do the same thing. You had a period from like 85 to 95 when everything was hardcore West Coast gangster rap. Then you had a period from 95 to about 2000 where everything was all East Coast gangster rap. Then you had from about 2000 pretty much to probably about 2009 where everything was Southern rap. And now the stuff you got now.
When anybody come from anywhere,
It's garbage.
You know what I'm saying? Now to the stuff you got now. I'm talking about it was like I said, really when it started in '79, you had your Beastie Boys, you had your Run DMC, all this stuff, everybody coming in here, same basic type raps. Then you had Luke with his little run with the freaky stuff. Atlanta had been making the same type of bass music for years. You know what I'm saying? You would have a few people come up from a different spot, but all it is the crafty mentality to get you to want to kill yourself. Because see, from 2000 to 2009, they would call it a cocaine rap. That's when your Jesus came. That's when your Rick Rosses came. That's when all the rappers went to talk about selling heavy cocaine. Now everybody want to be a cocaine dealer.
everybody using that.
You know what I'm talking about?
I'm on lean.
But what I'm talking about is the conspiracy to sit back and show you what they were doing. This was calculated. This was planned. Because we come from the era pretty much of knowing every rapper that's ever been. Nigga, we old enough to remember the Beastie Boys. We old enough to remember Atlanta-based music. We old enough to remember Luke being banned and can't rap his records. You know what I'm talking about? We old enough to remember that. We seen the music shift. Niggas want to act like the conscious. Nigga, it was never no nigga. Niggas wasn't stunting no Tribe Called Quest like that. Tribe Called Quest had their little run with De La Soul. Niggas everywhere wasn't listening to Tribe and De La Soul like that. I forget what they called their little group. Native Tongues. Native tongues, what they call themselves. Because leaders of the new school was with them. That's how you heard of Busta Rhymes. You know what I'm talking about? But wasn't nobody nationally studying no native tongues. It was certain people who was into that. You know what I'm talking about? Nigga, you had Cool Mo D having Wild Wild West. He was talking about selling dope and killing niggas.
That nigga said I used to be downtown West 29th Street.
West 29th Street. The Wild Wild West.
Chilling.
He talking about killing niggas. You know what I'm talking about? Only person wasn't talking about none of that type of stuff. But even LL Cool J had a song called Who Shot Ya? And had a whole bunch of so-called gangster type rappers on the record. Got Mobb Deep on the record. Got Foxy Brown on the record. Then when they wanted you women to act like hoes, they gave you Lil' Kim. Anybody who old enough know, remember the poster. Niggas to this day still trying to regulate, was that you or a pad?
Yeah.
Bunch of tissue.
You know what I'm talking about? Niggas still are like, this can't be this woman's vagina.
Yeah.
This can't be real. And then what do they do years later? Have Nicki Minaj come back around and do the same thing. All Nicki Minaj did was come back around and do what Lil' Kim had did almost 20 years before. Because before with the women rappers, all you had Roxanne Shante, and you had MC Light, but niggas thought she was a bulldagger, but then she come back with records. Well, she talking about getting freaky. Because see, you niggas ain't never sit back and listen to the records. Then you see Lauryn Hill, and you be like, oh, Lauryn Hill was great. Lauryn Hill was an adulteress. Lauryn Hill shacked up in the head all. You think you don't be knowing these people, you just hear the record. She deep, she this. That one around here doing God knows what. And this the people, and the word part is, this the conspiracy they put on your mind because you want to model yourself after fantasy. You know what I'm saying? Man, we done been, I was around a nigga when I was in prison, no lie. Dude from Pensacola. Nigga was just telling them why they started hustling. This nigga people, he had 5 years. His people own their own business. Nigga didn't even have to sell drugs. Nigga sitting here telling the story, he looking at us, man, it couldn't have been that bad. Everybody looked at this nigga like, what? Everybody wanted to slap him.
Yeah.
Because the only reason why you could have been here is because you were influenced by music and your peers. Because you thought this was the thing to do. You know, a bum black man, he ain't got no daddy around or no older male around him to put something, they highly impressionable. And they see the things that would cause them to get some popularity or get the women, then they gonna gravitate to that. That's why your sons is in these streets. You know what I'm talking about? That's why they act like a fool. See, hold on, Isaiah 51. Let me finish this Act 7 though. We're gonna get to Isaiah 51 after that. I got time. He said, in which time Moses was born and was exceedingly fair, nourished up in his father's house 3 months. And when he was cast out, Pharaoh's daughter took him up and nourished him for her own son. And Moses was learned in all the wisdom of the Egyptians, and was mighty in words and deeds. And when he was full 40 years old, it came into his heart to visit his brethren, the children of Israel. Don't you notice he sit back and look at when in Daniel chapter 9 how he tell you it's time for the Messiah to come, because it was in his heart to visit his brethren. Let me come see my people. It's in it in my heart, I need to come see him. He's saying, seeing one of them suffer wrong, he defended him and avenged him that was oppressed, and smote the Egyptian. For he supposed his brethren would have understood how that God by his hand would deliver them, but they understood not. They didn't sit back and realize Moses coming up to slay this Egyptian was showing you how he was coming to save. The same way it was showing you how the Lord would come back and save us from our enemies. First by slaying those who was oppressing us, which is death, and then actually slaying those who are actually oppressing us in the flesh. Because he had to smash the Egyptians. You understand what I'm telling you? These people were slaughtering and killing his people. We get so caught up. The Lord told you in Luke chapter 18, right? That it's best for a man always to pray and not to faint. Remember he told you the parable of the unjust judge. How there was a woman that kept coming to him day and night talking about this man do me wrong, this man do me wrong. And he say, lest she continually weary me. And remember the Lord say, I will avenge you speedily. Nevertheless, will the Son of Man find faith when he come upon the earth? See, sometimes we sit back and look at that. Remember I told you about the dude that said, man, we waiting for some old mythical white man and all that type of stuff. See, these people been oppressed so bad. And these people been killing us and doing us so dirty for so long. We think we ain't never going to get no saved. We think we ain't never going to be saved. Because you know what the difference is? They didn't know what the Lord was coming to save us from. You understand what I'm telling you? That's why they miss it. That's why you hear most Hebrews, they always talk about how we saved, we still in captivity. No, speak for yourself. You're still in captivity. Yes, I may be in captivity by verses of where I reside in a physical place, but each and every last one of us, if it be our burning desire, we can be made free. Your Savior done came. He came, he set you free. The question is, will you walk free? Will you go ahead and sit back? Can you imagine that there, a man come and open up the cell doors, unloose your handcuffs and tell you can go free and you sit there and stay there? But that's what you do when you wallow in sin. I opened the cell door, took the handcuffs off of you, you are free to go. And you say, I like it here, I'm going to stay. You know what I'm saying? I like it here, I'm going to stay. You got some dudes, when they literally get out of prison, that's what they do. They do something to go back because I don't want to be free. I don't know what to do with it. Sin sits right with me. Even when he told you about the parable of the old wine and the new wine, not putting it in old bottles. He say straightway, you don't desire the new wine because you say the old is better. Straightway, you don't desire to have that change in your heart and your mind because you feel like what you've been doing work. And the crazy part is, you know it ain't work, but yet you want to keep doing it. You know what I'm saying? That's how dumb our minds be. I know everything I did didn't work. And I'm getting shown a new and living way. But I think I'm going to stick with it. That's crazy though. You know what I'm saying? That's how our minds think. That's how you know you need a Savior to take you from carnal to spiritual. Because that's how you thinking. I think I can work it out this time. And you know where all that come from? These people have been conspired. They conspired the fact. We done did the research on this. These people been plotting and planning on this homosexual stuff that you see now since the early 1900s. Like that man say, you been talking about, you been planning this all day? And they say, man, I've been planning this all century. This was these people playing, but they had to do it gradually in process. You went from a time period where it wasn't even cool to be having sex and not married. Though they were doing it. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, there were brothels, they was tricking, they were doing it. But it wasn't readily accepted. It was shunned upon if you got caught. You know what I'm saying? Don't think that these people weren't fornicating. Don't think it wasn't no bastard children being born. Don't think that. But boy, when they got about the 60s, and the people went to doing that Woodstock, and them drugs went to coming out, and the people talking about some free love, and the people went to freaking, then they put them drugs on the street. I'm talking about, because this was a rapid decline now. You went from people being prudish to being hoish in 20 years. I'm talking about from the 50s to the 70s, like that there. They introduced that cocaine, because cocaine always been around, but they made it popular in the late 70s, early 80s. And next thing you know, boom! You never saw a homosexual on TV. They put Ellen on TV about 1998. Now faggots everywhere. To the point where you got niggas mourning for a lesbian for getting murdered the other night. And think that God is going to avenge her and let him in his kingdom. That's how people's mind been conditioned to accept wrong. You know what I'm saying? It's that simple. I'm talking about, you would have caught that 20 years ago. Wouldn't nobody cry for no bulldog or no sissy getting killed in the street. And they definitely wouldn't have opened up their mouth and said God was going to let them in unless they were a direct relative. But because nigga knowing from the street, man, she was doing her thing, she was getting money. They don't care. God be with her. I know she looking down on us. I'm telling you now. Hold on, what it was? But this is what they say though.
Yeah.
It's what they say though. We had to look at that type of stuff. Come on, drop down to about verse 33. Acts 7. And then said the Lord to him, put off thy shoes from thy feet. For the place where thou stand is cold as ground. I have seen the affliction of my people which is in Egypt. I have heard their groaning and am come down to deliver them. And now come, I will send thee into Egypt. This Moses whom they refused, saying, who made thee a ruler and a judge, the same did God send to be a ruler and a deliverer by the hand of the angel which appeared to him in the bush. This is why they want to cut off the name of Israel from being and remember. Why you think Herod asked? He knows this man is going to be a ruler and a deliverer. But what they were looking for was for this man to deliver them from the physical captivity at the time. You understand what I'm saying? That's what they were looking for. But we know that that's not what he would come to do. Come on to Exodus chapter. Let's think. Oh, that's not little stank. That's listen. No.
No, but he's like,
Yeah, I do. But niggas keep buying my frames and I never get a good coupon.
Cause of Walmart.
No.
Put it out there.
No, I'm talking about for the frames.
Walmart discount.
Hey, you said you couldn't.
No, what I'm talking about is the frames. I can't wear gold frames. So I gotta get
Why?
because I'm allergic to nickel.
You gotta go what?
They're not gold, they're gold tone.
Oh.
They're gold plated.
Oh, that nigga wrist done broke out now. I'm dead serious.
It
That nigga
did.
wrist done turn green.
From the real gold?
I don't know what.
No, it didn't turn green, but it broke out though.
From the real gold? From the gold tone?
I had been either from the cologne or a combination of both. 'Cause it broke my wrist out. But I knew I was allergic to nickel. I had a pair of gold Fendi frames when I was like 21. And they broke my face out. In the same fashion how my wrist broke out.
This?
I told him that it's a wrist read, man. He ain't gonna listen to me.
I'm sitting here looking at it. It ain't
I
green.
looked at it too.
He cut up. You know what I'm talking about?
Call it what you want.
That nigga open. Got an open wound.
I need just dark.
I ain't dark, nigga. I ain't that black.
I need just dark so you can't see the green.
This nigga here, man.
He's dark.
But I'm allergic to
dark
nickel.
brown.
He's like, dude, we're gone.
But the eye doctor told me at the time when I got them the last pair of frames I had, she was like, you got to wear titanium or you got to wear plastic.
It's all of it.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's why my right there is kind of dark. Because the little piece came off and that gold touched my nose and broke it out. You know what I'm talking about? Hey, everybody allergic to something. I know.
I ain't allergic to nothing.
I know something you're allergic to.
Sin.
Yeah, that too. These right here.
I ain't allergic to them.
Yeah, because when I hit you with them, you're going to swell up.
You're gonna break out.
You're going to break out. I hit you with one of these hammers, I bet you break out. Lumps just come over everywhere. Whoop, whoop. They say that nigga got the mumps.
You better hope I'm dead, because I see you again. Woo.
One thing for certain, two things for sure. You can't whoop me.
Yo, you right. I ain't gonna fight. Hot leg coming your way.
Uh-huh. You the one going to hell.
Hey,
That's
I
the
was what you
truth.
want. You is too, baby.
He said he wasn't going to hell.
He is too. 2 and 1. Put them lumps on my head. You is too.
You know what I'm talking
So
about?
I'll see you there.
You know what I'm talking about? Hey, man, I'm telling you, man, it's a sin to kill.
Huh? Shouldn't put lumps on nigga head.
Hey, who? Hey, man, I was playing. I wasn't serious.
That's
You just
just
took it that way.
chastised.
That's all it was. Just a
I
chastisement.
was just chastised. Bro,
I was just chastised. I ain't need to hit him that hard. Wah! Hit him again. He said, and there went a man of the house of Levi and took a wife, a daughter of Levi. And the woman conceived and bare a son, and when she saw him that when he was a goodly child, she hid him 3 months, just like the Lord would hid. And when she could no longer hide him, she took for him an ark of bulrushes and daubed it with slime and with pitch, and put the child therein, and she laid it in the flags by the river's brink. And his sister stood afar off to wit what would be done to him. And the daughter of Pharaoh came down to wash herself at the river, and her maidens walked along by the riverside. And when she saw the ark among the flags, she sent her maid to fetch it. Drop down to verse 10. And the children grew, and she brought him unto Pharaoh's daughter, and she became her son. And she called his name Moses, and she said, because I drew him out of the water. It came to pass in those days when Moses was grown, he went out unto his brethren and looked on their burdens, and he spied an Egyptian smiting a Hebrew, one of his brethren. And he looked this way and that way, and when he saw that there was no man, he slew the Egyptian and hid him in the sand. And when he went out of the second day, behold, 2 men of the Hebrews strove together, and he said to him that did the wrong, wherefore smite thy fellow? But he said now, he said, who made thee a prince and a judge over us? Intend thou to kill me as thou killed the Egyptian? And Moses feared and said, surely this thing is known. And when Pharaoh heard this thing, he sought to slay Moses. But Moses fled from the face of Pharaoh and dwelt in the land of Midian and sat down by a well. Now the priest of Midian had 7 daughters, and they came and drew water and filled the troughs to water their father's flock. And the shepherds came and drove them away. But Moses stood up and helped them and watered their flock. And when they came to Reuel, their father, he said, "How is it that you are come so soon today?" And they said, "An Egyptian delivered us out of the hand of the shepherds, and also drew water enough for us and watered the flock." So now we sit back and we're going to look at something. Because there's a conspiracy to cut off Israel. We don't went over this before. If you want to go see it, it's on the page. 2 times. We done went through the 2 times. You remember it? We remember. We went through this here, but we came down here. We came down here for verse 19 though. We came down here for verse 19 though. She said, "An Egyptian has delivered us from the hands of shepherds." Because these people were trying to drive these sheep away or trying to kill them. He delivered us from the hand, drew enough water for us, and watered the flock. Basically to give freedom to the people. Because they said back they needed a savior. Say, I want y'all to come over here. What is it? Jeremiah. That I want. I'm going to work it in. Jeremiah chapter 10, verse 19. Make it 18, 17 even better. Now we got the roll. Because the one thing I told y'all I hit my mind, and Lord willing, we going to hit it if we don't go into greater detail as I would like, because I got till 5:30. Actually, I got till 5:45.
Jeremiah 10.
If it don't go as how I would like it, we'll do it again. Because we're going to deal with them niggas always screaming, "There's no savior beside me." Y'all ever heard how them niggas always screaming that? See, Goldie didn't even know. See, I didn't even know that Goldie had been seeing that all day. But when I was on my way to my sister's house yesterday, he put it in my heart to preach about that today. You know what I'm saying? Niggas always scream that when they want to say Yahshua not the Messiah. JC, he said, "I'm God, there's no savior beside me." We're going to put that to rest today. We're going to put that to rest today. If the Lord be merciful enough to allow him to do it. 17th verse of Jeremiah chapter 10. "Gather up thy wares out of the land, O inhabitant of the fortress. For thus saith Yah, Behold, I will sling out the inhabitants of the land at this once, and will distress them, that they may find it so." Listen what he say. "Woe is me for my hurt. My wound is grievous. But I said, truly this is a grief, and I must bear it. My tabernacle is spoiled, and all my cords are broken. My children are gone forth of me, they are not. There is none to stretch forth my tent anymore, and to set up my curtains." Y'all remember them curtains? We just looked at them curtains last week. What was the color of them curtains? Scarlet, purple, and blue. Saying, "Well, nobody set up my curtains." He say, "For the pastors are become brutish, and have not sought Yah. Therefore they shall not prosper, and all their flocks shall be scattered." Because that's what these false shepherds were doing up there. You read in Exodus. They were scattering the sheep. But they say this Egyptian came and delivered us out of their hands. Then he say this Egyptian came and gave us some water. And not only gave us some water, but enough water for everybody. And why is that? Because he say his wound was grievous, and this was a grief he had to wear, and his house was spoiled. Let's see how his house was spoiled first in Matthew 27. And then we'll go to Isaiah chapter 42, verse 22. Matthew 27 and about 27. "And the soldiers of the governor took Yahshua into the common hall, and gathered them unto the whole band of soldiers, and they stripped him, and put on him a scarlet robe. And when they had platted a crown of thorns, they put it upon his head, and a reed in his right hand, and they bowed the knee before him, and mocked him, saying, 'Hail, King of the Jews!' And they spit on him, and took the reed, and smote him on the head. And after they had mocked him, they took the robe off him, took down my curtains, and put on his own raiment, and led him away to crucify him. And as they came out, they found a man of Cyrene, Simon by name. Him they compelled to bear his cross. And when they were coming to a place called Golgotha, to say that is the place of a skull, they gave him vinegar to drink, mingled with gall. And when he had tasted thereof, he would not drink. And they crucified him, and parted his garments, casting his lots, that it might be fulfilled, which was spoken by the prophet. They parted my garments among them, and upon my vestures they did cast lots. So now his house been spoiled. Because remember when he told him, destroy this temple, and I'll raise it in 3 days. But he was speaking of the temple of his body, right? So you sit back and look at it. If they were spoiling his tabernacle or his house, he just said, my curtains are gone. Snatch that robe off. Remember, we just looked at it in Exodus 25 about them curtains. They were purple, scarlet, and blue, wasn't it? And what did they put on this man? Purple, scarlet, and blue. Spoiling the house. They didn't put blue on him. They put a gorgeous robe on him, though. Then, you know, if they put a gorgeous robe on him, you know, it was multiple colors. So all that's sitting there telling you, that's Joseph coat of many colors, confirmed yet again. Because listen what he said now. Go back to Jeremiah 10, look what he told you now. This man say, my curtains, he said, there is none to stretch forth my tent anymore to set up my curtains. All my cords are broken. My house is spoiled. Now, we didn't read it last night, but that's what they were saying coming to do. They were coming to take what was God's. Now, you sit back and look at it. Who executed the killing of the Lord? The Gentiles did it. The Gentiles did it. The Romans did it. Because the whole time these people sit back looking at, we can't allow this man to sit up and set up no throne. These people know the king of the Jews supposed to rule. You think the people ain't know about Solomon? I don't think I forgot about what we doing with Solomon. We ain't forgot about it. The Lord just got us looking at different things. You think they forgot about that? You think the people ain't know about that? You think the people ain't know about the throne of David and the promise? When you got Herod going to this priest to sit back and tell him what a book say where he's supposed to come from that's supposed to sit on the throne. They asked about that. Because they knew we got to kill him. If we kill him and his name don't be no more remembrance, they can't be a nation. Remember how we just looked at last week? He said there's one seed, that seed being the Messiah. And how we to be born of him. And if we're born of him, what would we be? Revelation chapter 7. Because the only people standing right here that are born of him is those that came up out of. Remember, what is Yahshua at the same time?
Man and woman.
Male and female. Remember he said it'll be enmity between the woman's seed and the serpent's seed. So don't you think that these people going to come to try to take out this woman's children? I got to make something come up to kill these kids. After that, we look at Revelation 12. I ain't forgot about Isaiah 42 and 22. 7 and 15. Is it 7 and 15? I want 7 and 9. He say, after this I beheld. 7 and 9. Revelation 7 and 9. After this I beheld. After this I beheld, and lo, a great multitude which no man could number, of all nations and kindreds and peoples and tongues, stood before the throne and before the Lamb, clothed with white robes and palms in their hand, and cried with a loud voice, saying, salvation to our God, which sit upon a throne, and unto the Lamb. And the angels stood round about the throne and about the elders. The 4 beasts fell before the throne on their faces and worshiped God, saying, amen, blessing and glory and wisdom and thanksgiving and honor and power and might be unto God forever and ever. Amen. And one of the elders answered, saying unto me, what are these which are arrayed in white robes, and whence came they? And I said unto him, sir, thou know. And he said to me, these are they which came out of great tribulation, and have washed their robes, and made them white in the blood of the Lamb. See, that's what it sees people sitting back and look at. They wanted to kill the son to stop him from actually being able to give birth. You know what I'm saying? If we can stop it, hold on, Revelation 12, let's get it now. 12 and 5. Make it 12 and 3. I thank the Lord. See, we sit back and look at it now. This man like this man, the greatest savior of all time. I have to come back, because I ain't going to be able to get to it today, and show you examples of men who were saviors just like he was. Gideon, Samson. There's many. You know what I'm talking about? Moses. We're just looking at Moses right now, but there were plenty. And there appeared a wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon having 7 heads and 10 horns and 7 crowns upon his head. You know there's some stupid niggas in this earth right now sitting back looking for a sign in heaven of a dragon in the sky. I actually seen a nigga post about it like 2-3 years ago. They go to sign from Revelation 12. You know that wasn't a literal thing you were going to see in heaven, right? He said his tail drew the 3rd part of the stars of heaven. That lets you know that wasn't something you were going to actually see. And all that 7 heads and them 10 horns, it ain't nothing but all rulers of the earth. The kings. Now, I mean, it don't necessarily mean that they're going to be on each continent. They just kings. A lot of brothers sit back and they draw on that because of that European Union and how they, or the African Union, the European Union, how they divvied it up. But it's just basically going to be 7 kings. We can't really sit back and pinpoint and say what continent it's going to be on because we don't have no book to back that. Because they wasn't dealing with no continents. There wasn't no oaths. It's going to be a king for the North American Union and a king for the South American Union and the African Union and the European Union and the Asian Union. It didn't have none of that. They were just dealing with the men of the East. And it says, and it tells you the third part of the stars of heaven, and did cast them to the earth, and the dragon stood before the woman which was ready to be delivered, for to devour her child as soon as it were born. And she brought forth a man-child who was to rule all nations with a rod of iron, and her child was caught up unto God and to his throne. Because that's what Herod was trying to stop. You see what I'm saying? That's the same thing that the Egyptian Pharaoh was trying to stop. Because what did Moses end up coming to do? Becoming a ruler for the people. And they were seeking to devour this man-child before he was born because he knew it perfect. You know, we killed Moses. The one who would raise up to be a ruler and a deliverer to bring them out will be exterminated. If we can kill all these babies in Bethlehem of Judea, the one who's to rule them with a rod of iron and to rule the nation, we can exterminate him, because if we can kill him, then you can't get that adoption of the sons of God we read in Galatians chapter 4, can you? What ends up making Psalms 83 what? You caused to be ceased from being a nation before him, don't you? Because he made a promise. Deuteronomy chapter 7. He made a promise to you now. And we'll go back and look at Galatians chapter 3. He made a promise to you now. Still holding Isaiah 42. Lizzie. Smile just like your mama. Lizzie. I'm happy to see you too. Deuteronomy 7 and 6. Lizzie, give me that bacon.
Stop calling me.
Give me that bacon. What time? What time we on?
None of you?
No, I'm talking to him. No, I know what time it is. I'm talking about on the clock.
None of you.
Well, I got some nunya. It's going to take a lot of nunya to get my foot out the crack of your behind.
Kind of hard to have some Nanya get something out, you know, because Nanya is nothing.
All it is, I'm gonna just be walking around, hopping along with him. They say I got to come with him on every shift and all. Oh, we got it. We good. He said, for thou art a Kodesh people unto Yah thy God. Yah thy God have chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all the people that are upon the face of the earth. Don't you know if you a son of God that you would be above everybody on the earth? Why you think these people would hate you? Why you think they wanted to kill the son of God? Because he was above all men on the face of the earth. Why you think, we're going to come back to Revelation 12. Why would you not think these people would want to kill you? Why would you not think sinners would hate you? Because this man say, you will be a special people unto me above everybody on the earth. Now y'all let that sit and think that in your brain. When you become a saint, when you sanctify yourself by the righteousness of God's word, you are above everybody on the face of the earth. Do you know that as a right, if you obedient and believe in God's word, you have a right to walk around and be like, I'm better than you? Not in your attitude and how you treat people, but you have a right to that claim of superiority. The man just told you that. That man told you in Exodus 19, if you take hold of my covenant, indeed you'll be a peculiar treasure unto me, indeed, above all the nations that's on the face of the earth. That's Jew or Gentile. Because he told the stranger, if you take hold of my covenant, I'll do what? Give you a name above sons and daughters. So wouldn't they have a right to walk around, because they'll be joined to Israel? As ye are, so the stranger shall be. It's one body. So they would have that right, because I'm cleaving to this people. I got to, look here, man, you will serve God. You got a right to say, yeah, I'm better than you, buddy. Yeah, my people better than you. How could you say that? Because God said it, nigga, and I obey. I ain't just walking around here, I'm Israel, we the chosen people. But you're around here playing with yourself, telling lies, getting drunk, smoking weed every day. Cussing, trying to sleep with every woman come across you. You know what I'm talking about? But if you live in clean and sanctified, and you be like, yeah, boy, I'm Israel.
He said like 9 things.
Right, cause he drunk smoking weed trying to.
You know what I'm saying? No, I only mention that because there was a brother giving an interview of why he left a particular congregation. The name of the congregation was Thug Camp.
What?
It's an acronym.
Oh, okay.
Thug count.
It stands for True Hebrews Under God. In an attempt to try to because I heard him explain it.
No.
In an attempt to try to take away the negativity that's associated with that word, he came with that. The same way Pop had an acronym for it too.
You can't do that, dude.
I mean, sometimes in your mind, stuff sounds a lot better than when you actually do it. You know what I'm saying? Because I done spoke to the brother. I know why he chose that. I understand why he did it. You know what I'm talking
It
about?
makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, but to somebody who don't know any better, and you walk up to them and say, I'm a part of Assembly of Thug. But you know, most Hebrews don't say assembly or synagogue. Most of them don't say that. So you're going to say, I'm a part of Thug Camp. It's only two reactions you're going to get. Either what does that mean, or they going to shut you down immediately. You know what I'm saying? Now somebody who'll sit, go ahead.
I get it. Yeah, I get it.
He say sometimes, go to say they were aptly named anyway. The brother who came up with the name, he's no longer with them.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? He separated from them because they were aptly following the name that he came up with. Even though that wasn't the intent behind what he came up. Because he know ain't nobody gonna say True Hebrews Under God. So if I try to say thug and then you see me out on the street and we preaching and we got these t-shirts on, you thinking that's gonna cause in people's mind to want to know what you're talking about. But what's gonna end up happening is Thug Camp, they're gonna reject it.
It's too much, yeah. Too risky.
Names are very powerful. But the dude who he started it with, who he separated from, is actually doing all these things. Hating and sleeping with the women and using, smoking drugs and getting drunk and, you know what I'm saying, doing this, that, there, and the other. So when somebody see you, they going to be like, yeah, they some thugs.
You's a true thug.
You's a true thug. And that's why the brother separated himself from it. He said, you keep the name, you can have it. You know what I'm saying? But he had enough sense to what he started now is he used something out the book. You know what I'm saying? He used Isaiah 52:1. You know what I'm saying? But I understand why he did what he did.
Yeah.
I had an intent of doing this. But in actuality, what I was trying to actually show in the reverse with this name, y'all are actually exhibiting the behavior. He got sick of it. He had to leave. You know what I'm saying? But it's a lot of Hebrews out here that display that behavior. You can see some Hebrew man stay drunk, stay smoking, cuss a nigga out, fight in the street. You know what I'm saying? And somebody sit back and look at you. Oh yeah, you was a thug. But yeah, of course, a drunk always gonna look at man. A fornicator gonna defend fornication. An adulterer is going to defend adultery. So why wouldn't a drunk defend drunkenness? You know what I'm talking about? Well, I'm waiting on second Passover, so I get that bottle. I don't even want a nigga to get the wrong idea about why I got a bottle of wine in my possession. You know what I'm talking about? Oh, that nigga got to be drinking. He got that man of Chevy's around here. I'm going to drink this bottle right upside your forehead. You don't drink no wine, nigga. Deuteronomy 7:7. He said, Yah did not set his love upon you, nor choose you because you were more in number than any people. But you were the fewest of all people. Because Yah loved you, and because he would keep the oath which he swore unto your fathers, have Yah brought you out with a mighty hand and redeemed you out of the house of bondmen from the hand of Pharaoh, king of Egypt. Because he said, my woe, he said, whoa. Come back to Jeremiah 10 now. He said, whoa. This is why this man had to spare this man to make us a nation. I swore to your fathers you would be a people before me. We just looked at this on the new moon, didn't we? Right? Come on now, talk to me. And then we go to Isaiah 42:22 and come right back around to Revelation chapter 12. If I can get to Jeremiah 10. I just want you to look what he said like this. He said, woe is me for my hurt. He was wounded for our transgressions. He say, destruction to me for my hurt. My wound is grievous. Y'all know what they did to him. My wound is grievous. He was wounded for your transgressions. Then he say, but I said, truly, this is a grief and I must bear it. Because we always sit back and look at this. The man say he was exceedingly sorrowful, even unto death. He told Peter, shall I not drink the cup that the Father has given me to drink? This is my grief.